extra time.
Hi, sir. So we are starting with the official press conference. Our head coach Robbie Fowler is with us, and we also have our first assistant coach uh, Anthony Grant with us.
Hello.
Hi, sir. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi, Gaffa. Hi, Tony.
Hi, Gav. Okay.
Hi. Yeah. So before starting with the press conference, Mr. Bangur will like to give his opening address. Sir, over to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming and joining us. I'll just start the press conference by just saying how incredibly proud I am to obviously represent Sri Cement East Bengal Foundation. Obviously, we know it's a new club coming into the ISL, but it's a new club with a 100-year-old heart. And you know, I myself and the staff around me, including Tony, will give everything that we got to try and make this club as successful as possible. It's a real challenge. We know that because it's a new team and a little bit late in terms of preparation. But look, there will be no stone left unturned in our quest to try and bring the very best out to the football club. It's a challenge that we can't wait to get started with. We'll be over in India pretty soon to get going. And look, until then, we just can't wait. We're all incredibly excited to start this next chapter of what I'm sure will be a successful time.
Thank you so much for that, Gaffa. That's extremely reassuring. Thank you so much. Can we have Mr. Bangur say a few words?
No, I mean, BTI.
Sir?
Hello everyone. This is SS Kandelwal from Sri Cement. On behalf of Sri Cement East Bengal Foundation, I am glad to introduce Mr. Robbie Fowler as the head coach of our team, SC East Bengal. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for your opening address, sir. Can we start the press conference then?
Yes, please.
Dhiman Sarkar, Hindustan Times. Dhiman, are you there?
Yeah,
Dhiman
there.
Sarkar.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Gaffa, we have Dhiman Sarkar from the Hindustan Times joining us.
Okay.
Robbie, Tony, good afternoon from India.
Good afternoon.
And welcome to this new journey. I'll start with a question that can sound a little left field because we are looking into a situation where a tournament will start with possibly a 6-month stay in a bio bubble. Now that is something that has never been experienced by anyone so far in whatever competition has started, be it football, be it cricket, be it basketball, whatever. How do you think you and the team and the players will cope with what can be a very challenging situation mentally?
Yeah, look, I've no doubt that it will be a challenge. But look, for football in the world to sort of to get going again, I mean, certain situations and certain circumstances we need to adapt to. So we know what's in order. We know what we need to expect. But look, it's a case of us, myself, Tony, and the rest of the staff, just to create an environment where it's not. To create this environment where it's fun, where the players can enjoy. So look, it's not going to be all hands on all the time in terms of we're going to be down the players' throats all the time. We're going to be sensible in our approach. But look, what we fundamentally need to know is look, we're here to work. That's a case of look, whether we're in a bubble or not. The players need to know that we're here to do a job. We're here to do the very best we can be. And look, certainly from our point of view, we will have the players right. We will have the players ready. And we will do everything that we need to try and make the players as comfortable as possible.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your question, Mr. Dhiman Sarkar. Can we have Sanjay Udhikari from ETV Bharat? Mr. Sanjay Udhikari,
Yes.
are you there?
Yes, Divan, I'm here.
Yeah, you can ask your question to the Gaffa.
Hi, Ravi.
Okay.
Welcome. My question is, how much aware about East Bengal club and how much aware about the rivalry with ATK MB or ATK Mohun Bag? Hello.
Okay, I think there is some connection issue.
video
Coach. I think there's some connection issue. Gaffer, I'll translate the question for you. He's asking about the rivalry between East Bengal and Mohun Bagan.
Okay. Yeah. Look, I think with football, I think rivalry is healthy, and I think it drives players on, it drives fans on, and it drives football clubs to achieve the very best. I think myself, Tony, we've been involved in various games throughout our careers and various derbies that have been incredibly huge. So we know what it means to certainly the football club. We know what it means to the fans, which are mega important. And look, I think it's healthy for the game. It really is. So yeah, it's a relatively new club, as I said, coming into the ISL. But we know about the history between East Bengal and obviously Mohun Bagan in the I League. So look, it's something that I think the club should be using and try and use to our advantage. Let's get the game going. Let's get everyone really infused and in trying to enjoy the games as possible. And look, as for the fans, we know how important football is, but we also know how important the games against rivals are, because it's something that we've become accustomed to.
It's not there. We'll move on to Debashish Sen from Extra Time.
Okay.
The question Debashish Sen has is, have you been following the ISL, and what are your thoughts about the league?
Yeah, look, of course I've been following the ISL, and myself, Tony, and we are football people, and we follow football all around the world, and in all different continents. And the ISL is a relatively new league, as we know, and I think it's got better every single season. So hopefully now with the addition of us, we can make the team a little bit, not only the team but the competition a little bit more successful. So I mean, that is our aim. We want to be as successful as we can. And look, obviously knowing the league and knowing the players is massively important.
Thank you so much, Coach. The next question is, how difficult is it to build a team in such a short notice?
Yes, I think with football, I think it's always hard when anyone will tell you about building teams. I think we've had a history where we've built a team who struggled and made them successful over in Australia. So we know we can do it. And I've no doubt we'll do it again. Look, it is a challenge, but it's a challenge that we're accepting. It's a challenge that we want to do very well. And I said before, it's about us doing all the preparation right, getting the right methods and ethics into the players, and we'll be doing that. So yes, it is a challenge, but it's a challenge that we can't wait to get started with.
Right. Question from Shubhajit Mojumdar from Anandabazar Patrika. What would be your coaching philosophy? Or a plan if you could
my coaching philosophy in the team around me is, look, we want to be competitive. We want to play the right way. We want to get good results. Fundamentally, football is all about getting the right results. And what I will say, I think we will create a team who will work very well. We'll work very well with each other. We'll work hard with each other. And everything about us as a coaching group, we'll want to play the right way. We want to be a possession-based team. I think if you were sort of to delve into, our experience in Australia, we took a team who were second bottom and made them competitive. We had them playing the right way. In terms of stats, I think we were by far better than most other teams in the A-League last season. So we improved that team, drastically, and that is our aim again: is to be competitive, play the right way, and be as successful as we can.
Right. The next question is from goal.com. What would you view as success this season, considering that East Bengal are late entrants in the Indian Super League? And so. Yeah,
look, to be successful now, we know, we've said before how difficult it is. Most of the ISL teams have started the preparation. Obviously, we're a little bit later in terms of getting the ownership switched over and getting our contract signed. But look, we know that it's there for us. We will be as good as we can. We will have the team working very hard, and we will demand that the team work hard. So look, we do know it's going to be hard. We know it's going to be difficult. So I mean, success for me is, look, let's be competitive. Let's go and match teams. Let's go and get the right results. And look, it's no different from now. If we were a team who were brand new or a team who were prepared and ready, you've still got to go out there and fundamentally do all the right stuff, and that's what we're going to be planning to do. So yeah, we want to be competitive. We want to make games as hard as we can for our opponents. We want to play the right way, and look, come the end of the season, we'll all sit down again and we'll find out sort of how good and how successful our season has been.
Right. The next question is from the Indian Express. How would you describe your post-playing coaching career? You have been in Thailand and Australia. How was it there, and what do you expect in India?
Yeah, I think it'll be very similar. I think certainly the local players are, technically very, very good. And it's up to us to try and bring out a little bit more in terms of what they can and can't do on the pitch. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the challenge. I've mentioned before about our coaching philosophies is playing the right way and and trying to get results by being a possession-based team. I think we're going to do that. We are. That's one of the things that we're going to aim for on the training pitch. But look, this is a new challenge for us, and until we get over there and we start mixing with the players, and there's obviously very good players within that squad. But our job is to try and make those very good players a little bit better, and we'll be doing that. And that's the same all over the world. Regardless of whether you're in the Premier League, whether in the A League, whether in the Thai League or now the ISL. Our job is to try and make better players, and we have every confidence in what we can do to try and bring out the very best in them.
Right. A question from PTI. Who has been your sounding board in Indian football fraternity as far as getting inputs about recruitment of Indian players?
Well, obviously we have a new coach on board as well, Renedy Singh. I'm lucky you all know him, and his stature in Indian football is absolutely brilliant. We know as a coach how good he is. As a player he was successful, and certainly as a coach he's been a success so far as well. So he knows most about the local players. And look, we've been hands on. We've been speaking about players who are right for us and players who aren't right for us. So so Renedy Singh has been instrumental in helping us build that team.
Right. I'm once again requesting my friends in the media to kindly mute your audio and video. There's a lot of noise that's coming in from your side. Kindly mute audio and video. Thank you. The next question is from ESPN. Robbie, the question is why SC East Bengal? And why this year? Especially in the middle of a pandemic.
Well, why not? My question is why not? I think look, we know how difficult the world has been so far, and football still needs to get played. Football is people might not think it's a massive priority, but look, we're football people, and we know how much joy that brings to people. So I think we're part now of a team and a club who are trying to make people that little bit happier. We want to. We know at the time it's tough. And look, the ISL, as a new team in Sri Cement East Bengal Foundation, and look, we're going to be, as successful as we can. We're going to be, enjoyment for people who want to enjoy the football. And look, for me, it was a good fit. It's a new league with essentially a new team, but with that 100-year-old heart. And look, we can't wait. So, my answer to that is, well, why not now?
Right. And if I could ask the same question to Tony.
Well, very, very similar to what the gaffer just said. Football's such a universal language. We all love the game, which is why you have so many people here asking questions. And we will bring a lot of joy to the locals. We bring a lot of hope to the young boys, the young girls who all love football, and we will work very hard and be very successful. And again, what the gaffer says, why not? Why not? Football goes on, life goes on. We have to get to the other side, and football might help some people do that.
Right. One question from the Telegraph. You have a fairly big support staff. So if you could say something about Renedy being the Indian assistant coach, and how important a role will he play in the entire setup?
Yeah, look, about all of the staff, and I think it's primarily important. So I think when you are building a good team, I think you need to have a great team around a team. So, you know, I think certainly with myself and having Tony on board, you know, Tony has been a tremendous player. He's also been a tremendous coach, you know, at various clubs within the Premier League, and obviously within the the UK football system. Obviously Terry McPhillips, who obviously is on board with us as well. You know, his history. You know, he's been academy football, bringing lots of young kids through. You know, into the football system again, who's also managed in the top level of English football. So look, you know, Bobby Mims, who's had a great football career, who's also coached in you know, various clubs within the UK. So I think what we've got together now is we've got a great team who are highly experienced in whatever role, you know, we see fit, and that is the plan. You know, you mentioned Renedy. You know, we know how good Renedy is. You know, we know how good as a player he's been. You know, and we know how good of a coach he is. So for me to have a great team around me, and I think it makes for a club to try and be a success as quick as possible. So that is the reason behind obviously the great staff that we have.
Right, Robbie. One question we have from the bridge. And the question is in 2012, Robbie, you were supposed to come to Kolkata to cap off your playing career. But that obviously fell through. Now that you're taking charge of SC East Bengal, who are the giants of Kolkata and Indian football, how much do you think Indian football has changed since 2012? And just how massive has this change been so as to convince you to take the job?
Well, look, you know, you've just mentioned yourself. So when the ISL was talking about starting up and, you know, and maybe sort of coming together and, you know, having all these good players in, and for whatever reason, I don't know, that the first year that was planned was cancelled. Obviously, hence why, you know, I wasn't there. But I know there was a little bit of talk. You know, I wasn't sure what club I was going to go to, but obviously it fell through. And obviously, once you maybe get linked with something, you do pay attention to it, and you do keep your eyes open for what the league will pan out and develop as. And look, you know, I've got nothing but admiration for it. You know, I think certainly in the first few years when the crowds were up and you know, the passionate you know, fan base all around the ISL was great, and it was you know, good to watch. You know, football is the same all over the world. When you have a passionate fan base, and when they get right behind the teams and they make that, you know, spectacle that little bit more enjoyment, you know, we all love that. And I think that has been the case with the ISL over the years. You know, we have seen lots of good players come in, lots of good players enjoy the football, and lots of good players enjoy the environment. And look, we want to do that. We want to enjoy the environment. We want to play the right way. We want to create an environment where the players really enjoy going into training. Players enjoy going into you know, the stadiums and putting in performances that get the right results. Unfortunately, you know, we're going to have to wait a year before we can see the fans in the ground. But look, I know how passionate the you know, the Sri Cement East Bengal fans are. You know, and I know how much football means to them. So look, I can't wait to actually get over to Kolkata and you know, and mix with the fans and just show them sort of what a good team, the great team that we've created. Because football, as you know, is massive. But it becomes a little bit bigger when you've got fans right around us, and that is our aim. So look, we know we're in a bubble at the minute, and we know that is obviously what needs to be done at the minute. But you know, eventually, as Tony was saying before, there's obviously that little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, and we're waiting, and it'll be pretty soon, I hope, where all the fans can get back in and they can start supporting the team that they love, and they can start getting right behind us, because we know how huge the fans are. And that's what we want to do.
Right. I'm opening the floor again if you guys have any more questions. I think we are also getting a few questions for Tony. To Tony, if you could say something about why SC East Bengal and why you chose to come to India and your plans with the club.
Well, why SC Bengal is because it's such a huge opportunity. You know, as I said before, football is a universal language. There's no right country, no wrong country to play football. Opportunities arise. This was an opportunity. You know, when it comes to football, the sole objective is to improve people, make them better on the field, off the field, make them work really hard, make them enjoy football. And that's what we try and do. We will leave a legacy eventually for every youngster in Calcutta to want to really play for the shirt and make this club a really big and proud club again.
Right. Thank you so much, Tony. We have a question from Amitabh Dasharma from the Hindu. If you could kindly unmute your mic and ask the question. All right.
Can you hear me, please? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Robbie, good evening.
How are you?
Yeah. Tell us something about your squad and how does it go for a team making its maiden appearance in the tournament?
When you say tell us about the squad, what are you after?
Some of your key players.
Well, look, I think, as you know, I think we over the next coming days and maybe the next week or so, I think you'll find out a lot more. Obviously, once East Bengal was interested in myself and and Tony and the rest of our staff to come over, look, we've been nothing but working very hard to bring out good players, and not only good players but great players. And look, as far as I'm concerned, we have got a team full of marquee players. I know the marquee term is bandied about in India, and that term is maybe bandied about as the best players. But look, our ethos and our aim is to try and bring out the best in everyone. So, we're going to have a team of marquee players. We're going to have a team who will work all the same. No one will be getting any treated differently than anyone else, regardless of whatever stature there is. We know that the local players will come in and they'll maybe find it hard because it's not something that they've been used to in terms of the preparation and what we want and what we want to deliver. But look, we'll all work together, and we all want what it brings, and that is good results. And whether that's the Indian football players or the foreign players you're going to bring in. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and tell you names just yet, but I think there's a good case for everyone to be a little bit excited because some of the names that we have got on board, I think you will be impressed.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We can take only one final question, maybe from AFP. Faisal, are you there?
Yes, hi, I'm there. Can you listen to me, Robbie?
Faisal, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, Robbie once called the sleeping giant of the football world by Sepp Blatter. How do you rate Indian football? And was it the rise of Indian football that prompted you to move here?
Well, yeah. I mean, I mentioned before how obviously good and how successful the ISL has been for the 7 years that it's been going. And look, it is a new challenge for us. It's a new challenge that we can't wait to get going with. I mean, you've just mentioned sort of the sleeping giant of of Indian football in certainly East Bengal. We know how passionate the fans are, and look, anyone who's about to be involved in football, I think one of the first things you do is you look at the fan base. You look how big and how successful the club is. And look, we've done lots of work on the club. We know what it's about. We know how passionate the fan base is. And we know how much the actual red and gold shirts mean to lots of fans in in Kolkata and East Bengal. So look, it's a challenge that we can't wait to get going with. It really is. It's something that it's exciting times for not only us but for the fans as well. Who we know how much the club means.
Thank you very
so much. Sobhasachi, can you please mute my microphone and if you have a question, please go ahead. This will be the final question, guys. Thank you so much.
Hi, coach. This is Sabyasachi. I'm from Extra Time. Very good evening. My question is that it was a very short time for you and your squad also. So how you cope up with the Indian players, as you all know that you don't know their playing style, all those things. So how you cope up with the Indian players, and are you satisfied with the Indian squad?
More than satisfied, yeah, of course. I think we know, as I've said before, we are a little bit later in terms of preparation. But what that means is we need to work that little bit harder on the training ground. This is why we have the staff we have. This is why, you know, we are prepared to, you know, to put in the hard work, put in the, you know, the hard work that needs to be done. Look, we said before about creating an environment, and when you create a good environment, people enjoy it. People want to work that little bit more. People want to work a little bit harder. So, look, regardless of whether you're an Indian football player within this squad or a foreign player, you know, I think what I can tell to yourselves and all the fans that we will do everything that we can be to be successful. And that means working hard on the training pitch. Again, yeah, we know it's a little bit later than everyone else. That means we have to work that little bit harder, and we will be doing that.
Thank you. Thanks for your reply.
Thanks. Gaffer, it seems the media can't get enough of you. There's one final question which the media has, which one journalist from Sangbad Pratidin, Dulal, they has been really requesting me to ask. So this, guys, has to be the final question. We have to let the Gaffer and Tony go. Dulal, can you please ask your question?
Hi, Ravi. Dulal here.
Dulal, how are you?
Yeah, fine. Ravi, just I want to know one thing. So before taking charge in SC East Bengal as a coach, did you take any advice or opinion from any coach or player who coached or played in ISL?
Yeah, I think with myself, I mean, I've been lucky enough to have a great playing career, and along that journey, I've met lots and lots of people who I enjoy listening to and talking to anyway. I mean, I've played with players who've obviously played in the ISL. You know, I've played with I've also been managed by managers who've been over there. But there's Peter Reid, who was obviously I think he was over in Mumbai. You know, I've spoke to him a few times. Obviously Teddy Sheringham was over there. Owen Coyle is obviously the manager who had a great season last year. And obviously the new manager of Odisha, and Stuart Baxter, is not someone who I've spoken to yet, but I'm sure I will do. You know, we have obviously a good understanding of each other's backgrounds. And look, I'm still always willing to learn, and I'm still always willing to listen. And if I can get any advice, anything from anyone who's been involved in the ISL, then I'm all ears. I'm open to anything. So yeah, I have spoke to many people. I mean, I haven't even mentioned David James, who had a great first year as a manager, over in the ISL. So I've got lots of people who I can call upon, lots of people who I can phone up and get advice. And look, that will always be the case. I will phone them. I will keep in touch, and I will find out the rights and wrongs of what you can and can't do within that league. But I think what I will say, fundamentally, is I'm, when I'll be working myself on the training pitch with Tony and the rest of the staff, and look, we will get it right, and we'll do what we need to do to try and be as successful as we can.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all the friends in the media. Thank you so much, Gaffer and Tony. If we could have your final words before we end this press conference. And also, the reason we had to share a new link with the media is because of the fans thronging in the last link we shared. So we can all imagine the expectation and the anticipation from the fans. So if the Gaffer and Tony could say something for the millions of fans we have out there.
You want to start, Tom?
Yeah, so my last part of message would be to expect from us to work extremely hard, to give everything we can to all your players, all your youngsters, to make your whole country really enjoy the football we deliver. And you will see that by the amount of hard work we put in. And that's as much as we can do for now. And then as the games go on, hopefully all these press who are here today will be very kind to us. I'm sure you will, because you've got nice smiley faces. So I will look forward to the more future conversations.
I think obviously there, my closing statement is just to echo what Tony was saying. I think, we've said how hard we're going to work, what we're going to do in terms of getting the best out of players, getting the best out of everyone. And look, we know how important the fans are, and, I know how much you are willing us to do well, and we can't thank you enough. I think it means really everything. I mean, the amount of goodwill and messages that we've all had on social media has been astonishing, and we're obviously very, very grateful. But I think what we will say is, look, we will do everything that we need to do to try and make this, to make your club and our club as successful as we can. We know the history, we know the traditions, we know the values, And look, we're here to adhere to them. You know, we want what's best for the club. We want what's best for the fans. And we do everything that we need to do. So obviously, thanks for having us on board. Get right behind us. We'll give you everything, but we need everything back from all of you as well. And I'm sure you will be doing that. So obviously, thank you for allowing us to be part of your special club.
I don't think we could have ended on a better note. The gaffer and Tony summed it up. Thank you so much, friends in the media, for being so kind. Thank you so much for coming in such a short notice. And thank you so much, Gaffer. Thank you so much, Tony.
Cheers, fellas. Thanks very much. Thanks for everyone for joining. And hopefully we'll have plenty more conversations throughout the season.
লেটেস্ট নিউজ আর এক্সক্লুসিভ ভিডিওর সঙ্গে আপডেট থাকতে এখনই সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন আমাদের ইউটিউব চ্যানেল। বেল আইকনে ক্লিক করতে ভুলবেন না যেন।